The Egyptian pyramids have always been a source of fascination and amazement due to their complex architecture and incredible proportions. Among them, the Great Pyramid of Giza stands out as the largest and most mysterious. Built more than 4,500 years ago, it leaves an open question. How exactly could the ancient Egyptians create such a monumental structure with centimeter accuracy without modern tools? Over the years, researchers, scientists, and historians have begun to consider the possibility that the knowledge that facilitated the construction of the pyramids could have been of extraterrestrial origin. The hypothesis of alien intervention became popular when the architectural and mathematical features of the pyramid were carefully analyzed. The Great Pyramid turned out to be precisely orientated to the cardinal points, and its error in relation to the true North Pole is less than 1/20th of a degree. How could ancient builders have such precise knowledge of astronomy and geography? One popular theory suggests that Egyptian architects received their knowledge from a more advanced civilization, perhaps even from aliens. Some supporters of this hypothesis point out that the pyramids were built of massive stone blocks, each weighing several tons, and the blocks were delivered from quarries located many kilometers away from Giza. How could the Egyptians have transported and installed these huge blocks of stone without modern construction equipment? Given the limited technology of the time, this task seems almost impossible without some unknown method or assistance, which remains a mystery. In addition to the function of tombs, some researchers believe that the pyramids could have performed other, more complex functions. One of the most common theories suggests that the Great Pyramid was a kind of power station. Studies of its architecture have shown that the pyramid structure contains chambers and passages that resemble structures designed to conduct energy. In particular, the shafts leading to the outside are orientated to certain star constellations, which has led to speculation about a possible connection between the pyramid and space. Some researchers suggest that the pyramid could have been a kind of tool through which the Egyptians interacted with the energy of the Earth or even the universe. Proponents of the alien intervention theory also draw attention to ancient Egyptian legends and texts that mention gods who came from the sky. Many believe that these gods may have actually been aliens who shared their knowledge with Egyptian priests and rulers. For example, one text tells of the god Osiris, who descended to Earth during the first life and taught people many crafts, including construction. Some researchers believe that Osiris and other gods could have been representatives of a highly developed civilization that visited the Earth in the distant past. Such myths and legends have become the basis for many assumptions and speculations about the source of knowledge that the ancient Egyptians had. In 2024, a new group of researchers from the United States and Egypt launched a large-scale project to scan the Great Pyramid using modern technologies such as laser scanning and 3D modeling. This allowed them to create a detailed map of the internal passages and chambers that had remained unknown until now. Scientists have discovered a new chamber in the heart of the pyramid, located at a considerable depth. This chamber was not mentioned in any ancient texts, and its purpose remains a mystery. The discovery of this new chamber has raised additional questions about the true purpose of the pyramid and the possible functions it may have served. Many scholars speculate that this chamber may contain valuable artifacts or knowledge that may have been left behind by an ancient civilization. Others believe that it is probably just another chamber that was used in rituals or funeral rites. Nevertheless, the scanning of the pyramid confirmed that its structure was built using extremely precise calculations, which once again supported the hypothesis that its builders had advanced knowledge. It also raises the question of whether there may be more hidden rooms that have not yet been discovered and are waiting to be discovered. This new discovery has again raised the question of possible alien influence on the architectural achievements of ancient Egypt. Could the Egyptians have built such a grandiose structure on their own? Or perhaps they received help from the outside? So far, researchers are just beginning to study the new chamber, and perhaps in the coming years we will learn more about what secrets the Great Pyramid of Giza holds. The latest technology also allows us to track micro levels of radiation and anomalies in the structure of the stone, which can shed light on the techniques used during construction. So, is the Great Pyramid the result of ancient engineering knowledge alone, or is it evidence that aliens did indeed contact our ancestors? This question remains open and continues to be of great interest to scientists and enthusiasts around the world. Regardless of the final explanation, the pyramids continue to be a symbol of the extraordinary capabilities of humanity or possible help from distant stars. And perhaps it is in the coming years that we will get answers to questions that have been asked for thousands of years. Saqqara is one of the oldest and most mysterious necropolises in Egypt, located about 30 kilometers south of Cairo. It is home to the famous stepped Pyramid of Djoser, which is considered one of the first large-scale stone structures in human history. Built on the orders of Pharaoh Djoser in the 28th century BC, it raises numerous questions for researchers. How did the construction of such complex structures begin, and how did the ancient Egyptians achieve such a level of engineering skill? The Djoser Pyramid, unlike the classical pyramids at Giza, has a stepped construction and consists of 6 levels rising upwards. It is built of limestone, each block of which weighs several tons. Scientists believe that this pyramid could have been the first experiment in pyramid construction technology, but for some reason it was not perfected. For many years, researchers have been studying its structure and trying to understand how Egyptian builders could transport huge stone blocks and install them with such precision. The Djoser Pyramid looks like a technological experiment compared to other Egyptian structures. It is assumed that its architect, the great architect Imhotep, possessed knowledge that was unique to his time. In ancient texts, Imhotep is described as a man of great wisdom and knowledge who had access to secrets that were passed down from generation to generation. Imhotep is considered to be one of the first engineers and architects in history, and his achievements led to the emergence of such grandiose structures as the Pyramids of Giza. Some researchers suggest that this knowledge may have had extraterrestrial origins, or that Imhotep may have received it from the mysterious gods mentioned in Egyptian mythology. In 2024, an international team of researchers conducted a new study of the Djoser Pyramid using modern scanning technology. Thanks to neutron scanning, they discovered hidden passages and chambers inside the pyramid that were previously unknown. Some of these chambers contained symbols and signs that do not resemble traditional Egyptian hieroglyphics, as well as traces of stone processing that raise questions about who and how could have created such precise lines and surface treatments thousands of years ago. Such findings have become another source of speculation about possible alien contact, or the existence of advanced technologies among the ancient Egyptians. The study also revealed the presence of minerals that are not found in the region where the pyramid was built. One of these minerals is quartz, which is used in modern times to create electrical appliances. This discovery gave rise to the hypothesis that Djoser's pyramid could have been used not only as a tomb, but also as an energy center. Although there is little scientific evidence for this theory, some have suggested that the ancient Egyptians may have used quartz and other minerals to create certain forms of energy that were used in rituals. Also, some researchers believe that the use of quartz could be related to certain astronomical or cosmic phenomena, which further indicates a possible complex system of knowledge among the Egyptians. In addition, there is a complex system of underground tunnels, chambers, and vaults under the Djoser Pyramid that has not yet been fully explored. Some researchers believe that this underground complex could have been of defensive importance or served as a place for rituals. However, others suggest that these underground chambers were not created for rituals, but for the storage of artifacts or technologies that could have been of extraterrestrial origin. For example, there is a hypothesis that these underground passages could have been used to protect or store particularly important knowledge that was accessible only to a select few. In one of the underground chambers, the researchers found stone tablets depicting symbols resembling stars, planets, and human-like figures with elongated heads and large eyes. These findings have led to speculation that the Egyptians may have been in contact with a civilization that did not belong to our planet. Ancient texts and myths found in other parts of Egypt also mention sky gods, who imparted knowledge to people and taught them many crafts, including construction. It is known that Egyptian priests believed in higher powers that came from the stars, and these findings further support this hypothesis. Despite the many mysteries, the history of the Djoser Pyramid does not provide clear answers to the question of whether the Egyptians could have received help from the outside. Some scholars believe that ancient civilizations had extremely advanced technical knowledge that was later lost or hidden. Others are convinced that there is evidence of contacts with extraterrestrial civilizations that left a trace in Egyptian buildings. Various archaeological findings, such as unusual symbols and mysterious properties of stones and minerals, give rise to further research and the search for answers. Could the ancient Egyptians have achieved such mastery in construction on their own? Or is it possible that they received knowledge and support from more advanced civilizations that existed off Earth? The answer to this question remains a mystery that still fascinates historians, archaeologists, and mystery researchers. However, with each new study and new technologies that allow us to look deeper into history, we are getting closer to unraveling these mysteries. Perhaps in the near future, we will be able to find more evidence or refutations of theories that would help us better understand how the Djoser Pyramid was built and what knowledge was behind this achievement. Despite all the questions, Djoser's pyramid continues to inspire researchers and remains a symbol of ancient Egyptian wisdom and craftsmanship. The Pyramid Complex in Giza is one of the oldest and most mysterious architectural monuments of the ancient world, which not only fascinates but also raises many questions. The majestic pyramids of Cheops, Chephren, and Mikerin, as well as the Sphinx that guards them, testify to the incredible building skills of the ancient Egyptians. However, researchers still cannot give a definitive answer to the question of how these structures were built, and most importantly, for what purpose. Could the Egyptians have created such complex structures on their own, or did they have help from a more advanced civilization? In the 20th century, astronomer Robert Bauval put forward the theory that the location of the three pyramids at Giza corresponds to the position of three stars in the constellation Orion. According to his research, the location of these structures perfectly coincides with the position of Orion's belt, as it was more than 10,000 years ago. This suggests that the ancient Egyptians may have had knowledge of the starry sky far ahead of their time, or that the pyramids were important not only for earthly civilization, but could also be a sign for extraterrestrial visitors. In 2024, an international team of researchers led by astronomers from Egypt and the United States set out on an expedition to study in detail the connection between the architecture of the pyramids and the star systems. They used the latest technology, including spectroscopy and high-frequency detectors, to determine the presence of any energy fields or radiation that might indicate special properties of the site. The research revealed that the stones of the Cheops pyramid have unusual magnetic properties, suggesting that the pyramid could be part of a specific energy system. The archaeological findings inside the Cheops pyramid are even more interesting. In the main corridor and in the so-called King's Room, researchers using the latest laser technology found traces of unknown substances that have not yet been identified. According to some experts, these substances may be remnants of ancient rituals, but there are also suggestions that they could be part of mechanisms designed to communicate or interact with alien civilizations. The location of the pyramids at Giza, their perfect symmetry and orientation to certain points in the starry sky, reinforce the idea that these structures could have been created not only to worship the gods, but also to communicate with other worlds. One of the most surprising theories is that the complex at Giza could have served as a kind of portal or gateway to pass between worlds. According to this theory, the pyramids and their secret chambers created a certain magnetic field or resonant frequency that could interact with the energies of the universe. Some researchers, in particular physicists who study quantum mechanics, suggest that the pyramids could be used to create tunnels or passages that would connect us to other dimensions or even allow us to travel in space. This assumption seems like science fiction, but in the myths and legends of the ancient Egyptians, there are indeed references to places that served as a link between the world of the living and the realm of the gods. In Egyptian mythology, the gods Ra and Osiris are often described as those who came from the stars. According to some texts, the gods came down to earth to teach the Egyptians science and crafts. Ancient frescoes and engravings found in the Temple of Seti in Abydos depict symbols that look remarkably similar to modern aircraft and submarines. While many have explained these images as a coincidence, other researchers believe that they are evidence of the ancient Egyptians' knowledge of technologies that were provided to them by visitors from other worlds. In 2024, a group of archaeologists found a tablet with hieroglyphs describing the starry gates and the fiery beings who could pass through them in one of the smaller temples near Giza. According to Egyptologists, this text is a kind of legend about fire gods who descended from heaven. Researchers believe that this confirms the theory of the Stargate and ask the question, what if the pyramids were created not only for the eternal rest of the pharaohs, but also for storing knowledge or even for contact with space? Recent research at Giza reinforces the idea that these structures were much more than just tombs. New excavations have uncovered complex underground tunnels beneath the pyramids that have not yet been fully explored. Some of these tunnels lead to chambers that may have been used for rituals, but there are also some that look like technical rooms or even laboratories. In some of these chambers, researchers have found strange symbols and drawings that do not resemble traditional Egyptian hieroglyphics. They may be part of an unknown symbol system that was used to transmit information or even energy. Moreover, new findings have shown that some chambers were specially designed to store certain substances or artifacts. In several of them, the remains of metal objects were found, which probably had ritual or technological significance. These objects had an unusual structure, and analysis showed that some of the metals used in them are not found on Earth. This again reinforces the hypothesis of a possible alien origin for some of the knowledge or technology used in the construction of the pyramids. Could the pyramids at Giza be part of an ancient technology that allowed the Egyptians to communicate with other civilizations or dimensions? And did the ancient Egyptians really have the kind of knowledge that they could only receive from alien teachers? Modern science still does not have definitive answers to these questions, but new findings are raising more and more questions about the secrets that the Giza complex hides. In addition, there is a theory that the pyramids could have been part of a global system that included other ancient structures around the world, such as Stonehenge or Mayan temples. Perhaps all these structures were part of a single network designed to interact with the energies of the Earth and the universe. In general, the Giza Pyramid Complex continues to be a source of inspiration and mystery for scientists, archaeologists, and enthusiasts from all over the world. Whether the pyramids were built by the Egyptians themselves or with the help of a more advanced civilization, their architecture, precision, and scale remain impressive. With each new discovery, new hypotheses and questions arise that we may one day find answers to. The pyramid complex at Giza is not only a monument of ancient culture, but also a challenge for modern science, which is trying to uncover its secrets and understand the significance of these grandiose structures for the ancient Egyptians and perhaps for all of humanity.